So the feedback that you received was not, oh, I have the same problem with my young child
No.
pulling off the toilet paper. It was that I've always wondered how to bring, I have ideas for inventions.
Yes.
And you inspired people to say, like, this is doable. You can bring it to market. You just need resources to, everybody needs a starting point.
It did, and I also felt that the moms didn't have, at that time, when you put in mom invented or mom entrepreneurs, nothing came up in Google. And I felt like I wanted to celebrate the intelligence and creativity of moms, because I had the experience of being out in the work field and coming home and suddenly you're just kind of in the woodwork and you're not out in the world and you're feeling in a way disconnected. And I thought, wow, all these amazing women out there doing these incredible things with different backgrounds, and I wanted to celebrate that. So that's what the Mom Invented brand means. It's a celebration of mom's intelligence and creativity. And then I had read a history book called The Mothers and Daughters of Invention that talked about how women have always been inventive but have never received credit for their inventions. And so that's what inspired me to put the picture of each inventor on the Mom Invented packaging so that she could be acknowledged for her great idea.
And then you have this sort of cavalcade of communication with moms all over the country. Can you talk about some of the most creative or most fascinating inventions that you've helped bring to the shelves?
Yes, so we have a whole, you'll see them in Safeway and Kroger's and different grocery stores in the bread aisle, but we have Good Bites crustless sandwich cutters. And I love this. This was a mom who invented it, and she was tired of cutting the crusts off all their kids' sandwiches. She just wanted to do it quickly and in one movement. So she created the original. And from then, we created Love Bites, and we now have Puzzle Bites, and in a whole variety of these bites that cut off the crust and seal the edges of the sandwich. And the kids love it, and they love doing it themselves too, because the edges aren't sharp. And now we have a product I'm so excited about, and it's a sandwich box that has another compartment for vegetables or fruit for healthy eating. But the most fabulous part of it, it has an indentation here where you can put a Post-it note. It is almost impossible to communicate with your elementary age kids, and often we'll be racing out the door in the morning and I'll forget to tell them they have drama after school, so you need to go to the classroom rather than me picking them up, or it's hard to communicate. So now you can write notes to your child and it sticks right to the top. Now what I have found, I was just thinking about it in terms of logistics. Now what I've found is my kids want little, I love you, have a great day. And now they're like, what are you going to say? I'm like, it's a surprise. And so now they can't wait to see what the note is. So that's another fun one.
So you are using the products as well as...
Oh, we use everything.
That's great. So you've also published Your $1 Million Dream and another book in 2010, The One-Page Business Plan for Women in Business.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that book and how that project came together?
Yes. Jim Horan is the founder and owner of the One-Page Business Plan company, and he's local also.
Another East Bay resident.
He is.
Right?
He's in Berkeley. And I've mentioned Jim's one-page plan in every book that I've written because it is so important, and his approach is fantastic because it's doable by anyone even without a business background. And I met Jim through the Walnut Creek Chamber of Commerce. Before I started my whole company, I had thought of the company after the Katie Couric piece, but I didn't really know how to structure it. And so I went to this workshop, and Jim his style is so approachable. So I collaborated with Jim on the one-page business plan for women in business because I feel after all these years of working with women that women have a different approach to business, and we wanted it to be much more approachable. So it includes stories of other women who have successfully brought their businesses to fruition. And the thing that's so fabulous about this business planning approach is it asks you very pertinent questions. What are you building? You have to know what you're building from the very beginning. What are you building? Who are you in service of? And what is your promise that you're making to yourself and to your customers and clients? And once you have this framework in place, then you can build it and build it and build it, and it's a work in progress. But to have the fundamentals written down and so you're clear about what you're creating is really important.
Something I love about that book, excuse me, is that it gives very specific, real-world examples of women who have created their dream business,
Yes.
including at Diablo Magazine. We were just eating Florentines by Clarine's Florentines. Can you give a couple of examples, and why is it so important to give real world examples rather than just structural guidelines?
I find, I mean, we're all human and we are touched and inspired by people's stories, and I think that that's what brings this book to life. And I love Clarine's Florentine story because Clarine was a school teacher and she had no business background, so that was a bit intimidating to think of creating a business, but she loved making Florentines, and her Florentines are fabulous. And everybody was talking about them, so that's what inspired her to keep going forward. And so now she runs a commercial kitchen, and she brings these Florentines now to all the local community, and she's building her business. And so I think that's what I think other people love to hear, stories about people who, just like yourself, that may not know how to create a business, but that it's possible, and that other people are leading the way, and that there's no reason why you can't do it too.
I think that sort of proof that your Mom Invented brand is a success is the way the media, the large national media, has responded to it. Not only were you featured on Katie Couric, but Good Morning America did an annual contest to pick the best Mom Invented product, and really built it up, and then announced the winning product on Mother's Day on Good Morning America. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship and what that sort of national exposure brought in sense of brand recognition to the Mom Invented brand?
Yes, the thing that's so wonderful about the Mom Invented brand, and I think the reason why the national media loves it, is because it's about mom, and each of these women have a different story to tell, and even struggles, and their stories are what are so compelling. And so I think that's what brings us in. And also, I think we all have a wish to help people succeed. And so with the contest with Good Morning America, that was a proposal I made it up, sent it to the producer, and thought, why don't we do a contest? And they loved it. And so that's how it all began. And then it was such a success. They'd never had such a response before, that we did it year after year after year. And I think it's true. I think that there's so many people out there that want to see their products on store shelves. They want to have that experience. And so it's a feel-good experience, and I think that's what the media really ties into.
Speaking of feel-good experiences, it's a delight to be here in the Walnut Creek Public Library and to be able to use this beautiful library to film Get Lit. This is not your first visit to the Walnut Creek Public Library, is it?
We came here at the opening, and my kids, it is such a joy to share this library with them. When I was growing up, my local library was magical to me. You'd go in, all the city sounds would disappear, and you'd just be in this incredible space, and that's what this library is. And so every time my kids come, it's almost like we all just suck in air, because we're just like, oh, we're so thrilled to be here, and they race over and start going through the books, and so it's recreating that magical experience for them. So,
where did you grow up, and where was that first public library that you...
I grew up in Carmel, which is a lovely little town, and has a beautiful library, and it had these beautiful windows just like here, and this reminds me so much of that experience. So it's been incredible to bring that to my children as well.
And you were saying that this new library, beyond the resources of children's books and a reading area, what are some of the appealing useful elements of the Walnut Creek Public Library for business opportunities?
I love their little rooms, their little hideaway rooms that you can use to collaborate, to interview people. I mean, it's an incredible place. You could absolutely, with my books, I always see them as projects, and they're collaborative, and I'm interviewing people and I'm gathering information. I mean, what better than here in this library to bring people together and help work on these types of projects? And
it seems with your $1 Million Dream and the one-page business plan for women, whereas the book is an important resource for people to be able to use, it's a good starting point. Something that you're doing as an author is kind of a constant conversation with your readers.
Yes.
How often are you doing in-person events? And then can you talk about how you communicate with your readers through your website and through your newsletter?
I communicate with my readers daily on Twitter, Facebook. We have a community on, it's called members.mominvented.com, because it's a place where I'm so excited about it. It's a community where people are sharing information and resources. So people are saying, okay, I'm stuck. Who here has found someone who can do this or do that? And they're really sharing this information. And so the website at mominvented.com and the social media has been an incredible way to connect with people on such a personal level. And so out here in the community is one way, and talking to people all the time in town, and also going to business events locally, that's a great way. But also using the social media in combination is just, it's like an amazing opportunity to connect in a way that you never thought possible.
It's great to see you again here in the Walnut Creek Public Library. Congratulations on your 2 new books and the continued success of the Mom Invented brand. And thanks for taking some time to sit down here at Get Lit.
Thank you.
Thanks to Tamara Monosoff for coming to this episode of Get Lit. Make sure to tune in to future episodes, and we'll be speaking with a wide range of local authors. Thanks for watching.